Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bring Life Indoors. Today, I thought I'll talk about propagation, something I love doing a lot. My kids can tell you, and my husband that I love propagating. And yeah, it's something I have been doing for a long time. And to be very honest, for for a while, I didn't even know I'm propagating. I didn't even know there's such a word. All I knew is I was not scared to just dig up my plants outside and see if I can separate them or not. And I started outside, obviously, with my garden outside, and that's what I would do. If I had a space which I felt I wanted to fill up before I ran to the garden shop and buy plants, I'll walk around my garden and see, is there a plant I love and I want to multiply and put it in that corner? And I did that. I'll dig it up and look at its root system. And if it looked like I could separate it, divide it, I'll take a shovel and, depending on how big that plant is, um, I would divide it into four or three or two and then plant it where I want to plant it. And most of the time, it worked. To be very honest, that's how I filled up my garden outside. Yes, I still went to the garden shop and buy what what I liked or what I wanted to buy. But most of the time, to be very honest, I will dig up. I love it. I don't know. I love getting down and dirty and pulling out plants and seeing how they look. And yes, again, to be honest, I have killed a few by doing that. But the knowledge which I got from it and what I learned from it was worth it, honestly speaking. So I'm still doing it and I'll keep on doing it. And the truth is, over time you do come to a place where you learn your plants and you know your plants and you know the ones you shouldn't fiddle with and you know the ones that can be propagated and divided, whether it's by dividing or by cutting, because you can propagate by dividing or cutting, you know. So yeah, you end up learning quite a lot. You end up learning the plants which you can do that with. So while I was doing that outside, like I said earlier, I had no clue that I'm propagating. All I knew is I'm just multiplying my plants. And yeah, so when I went more and more into indoor plants, um, then I came across the word propagation and I read on it and I was like, oh my goodness, I've been doing this outside. So it's called propagating. Oh, okay. So yeah, it was quite an interesting thing, to know that it's something I have been doing. And so even inside, that's what I do. I love looking at my plants. I love taking them out when they're at that place where they're ready to be repotted. I love looking at their root system and seeing if it's something I can separate or divide or cut and yeah, and multiply. And if it's something I can do that with, if it's a plant I can do that with, believe me, I do it. I do it. I've done it with mother-in-law. There's a video I've done. You can go check on one of my videos. I've done it with a mother-in-law's tongue. I've got so many now around the house. It's so nice because with those ones, it's so easy. Yes, you can still take the leaf and stick it in water, but it takes forever for the roots to come out. It takes so long. But nonetheless, for me, the one I love the most with mother-in-law's tongue is when you get the plantlets from the mother plant growing on the sides, you know, then I divide them. That's what I do. I then divide them and then I plant them individually. And yeah, so that's what I've done with my mother-in-law's tongue. And I've done that also with what do you call it? I've done that with, when it comes to dividing, I've done that with peace lily. Uh, I love peace lily. I mean, it will give you so many bulbs. So all I do is I separate. There's one which I'm gonna do that soon once it's ready to be repotted, and I'll probably get about three out of it, which is so exciting. So I'm looking forward to it. And I've also done that with uh, my spider plant. I've done a video on that, also a YouTube video on that. You can go and check it out a while ago. And spider plants are very easy also. And I've done some recently. You can see that sitting in water. So it's very exciting. Soon I'll be having quite a few again spider plants. I mean, I can give them away as gifts or keep them around my house, Can never have enough spider plants. I love spider plants. And yeah, so I stick mine in water, but again, it's one of those, once it has a note, there's no need for you to stick it in water. You can just put it in soil and it will take root, you know. And I sometimes just love watching them develop roots. Like these are ready to go in soil. You can see the roots are developed, So it's such a joy for me to watch it develop roots and all that. So sometimes I do that for the fun of it. I just put it in a glass of water and I'll watch it grow. And so yeah, I did mention I've done that with mother-in-law. You can check out the video. There's a video on that. I've done that with peace lily. Um, and once the other one is ready to be reported, I'll definitely do a video on that you see what I mean by dividing. I've done that with spider plants, like I've just shown you now. Soon I'm planting those in soil. And I've also done that with arrowhead plant. I love arrowhead plant. Now what I've done is I've taken, you can see there's one that I'm busy with at the moment, and it's, yeah, I just took it off the mother plant and I've sticked it in water. There we go. And there's getting new leaf there. And I've recently planted one in here which I've propagated. So I'm very excited about it. It has taken root. It's very happy. It hasn't given me issues, so I hope it stays happy. So yeah, there it is, something I've propagated myself. Now the joy about it is just to watch it grow and think, I've done this myself. I've done it myself. I've done it myself. I've I've propagated it myself, so it's quite exciting. It's a joy to watch it grow. Now I've also done it with monstera, and I have a video on it, repotting monstera. I have a video on when I was repotting monstera, but this one, it was the one that I was busy propagating. If you check out that video, it was still in water, this one. So recently I repotted it. I transplanted it into soil. So I'm very excited. I mean, it has taken root. It hasn't given me any issues. It's very happy, and it's sitting in its nice pot in soil. It's off the water now. So yeah, this is what happens when you propagate. Come now. This is from my mother plant. So that's a joy about it. I've got about a few of monsteras around the house. That's a beautiful thing about propagation. You can just have as many, as long as you can propagate it, you can have as many as you want, And the one I have done recently, which is my first time to do, is the golden pothos. Pothos. I hope I'm saying it well. But anyway, this is the first one. This is my first time propagating this one, so I'm looking forward to it. Now this is also one of those easiest ones to propagate. If it has a node, I'm gonna try and get one out without getting wet. Let's see, because I've got a few cuttings in here. There it is. You can just stick it in soil as it is. You can really just stick it in soil and it will take root, because you can see that it already has a note. You see there, yeah, there we go. You can see that it has a note. So all of them has notes, so they can really go straight into soil. But like I say, I love just putting them in water first and watching the roots develop, and then from there I transplant them into soil. So yeah, so I've got a few cuttings in here. I'm very excited. It's like more than 2, 4, 6, it's probably 10 or so, 10 or 8 cuttings in here of golden portals. I don't know if I'm saying that name well, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And the other one, so this one is one of those. Is that plant? I'll show you now. I have it now. I have it here in my bedroom. I'll show you how it looks. It's one of those plants which hangs. I'm excited about it. So I love it. I've got about 2 of this kind. So I thought I wanted to multiply it and have a few of them. And also it's another way to fill it up, because there's one which it doesn't look so full. So I want to fill it up. So I'm gonna stick a few of them in the same let me just show you. So this is how it looks. It's heavy. So yeah, I have, you can see it's a bit it's not full, it's not full. You can see that it's not full, right? It's not full. So I want to fill it up. So it was trailing a bit, then I cut that out to use it to propagate, that I can fill it up. So I'm going to use most of the stems which I've cut out to propagate, just to stick them back in the soil, just to fill up the pot. I want the pot to be nice and full. So that's what you can also do if you feel like you have a, portals. You have photos and you feel like it's not full, it's a bit empty, it's not full like mine. You can see this one, the other one in the lounge is a bit fuller, but this one is not full. You can do that. You can cut this part out. I'm gonna try and show you. You can cut this out here, and then you'll have about 1, 2, 3, 4 to propagate. And if they already have nodes, you just directly immediately stick them into soil, and then you'll see they'll take root, and then your pot will be a bit more fuller. So that's how, again, you there's other ways to make your pot full. I don't only propagate to have more plants, I also propagate to fill up my pots. So sometimes that's what I do with my cuttings. And the other one, which I'm still patiently waiting for it to take root, is my Croton. I did this. If you remember, there's a video I've done when we were in the South Coast, and yeah, I'm still patiently waiting. I'm still patiently waiting. It's been a long time, and they're doing very well. They're happy. I mean, they're very happy. They are very happy, completely beyond the word happy. But I haven't gotten roots yet. I'm waiting for roots. I'm waiting for roots. So come on. But I'm patient. I'm very patient. As long as they're not dying, of which they're not, they're very happy. They're alive and happy. But I'm waiting for roots. So I'm looking forward to seeing them develop roots, of which hopefully it will be soon. So yeah, so that's what I have for today. I thought I'll talk about propagation, what I've propagated so far, And believe me, every time I have done it, uh I didn't have any issues. It worked out so well. um uh, it really did work out so well. Like I say, with some, you don't have to put them in water. I think for me, I do it obviously just to also show you that what happens when you put it in water, that you see the roots. But then you can really just stick it in soil. Even with my spider plants, most of my spider plants, I didn't do this. Once it had the roots and it had the nose on it, I cut it off its mother, and then I put it directly into the soil, and it took root. And this is just obviously to show you that you can also do this, or you can just stick it. As long as it has a note, you can just stick it in the soil. But if it doesn't have a note yet, you can just put it in water. Then you'll see the roots will start developing. Then you take it straight to the soil. So yeah, so that's what I've done so far, propagation wise. So I'm very excited. Most of the plants I have, yes, I still go out and buy. Sometimes I have to like hold back. Um, I love shopping for plants. My husband knows that. My kids knows that. Uh, Even the garden shop where I go, they know me very well. They know me very well, and they know my family. They always see me there. Um, so that's me. I love it. I love shopping for plants, but I also love propagating. You don't always have to go shopping. You can, if there's a plant you love, and you want many of those, more of those in your house. Um, Go to the big mama, and if you can propagate it, do it. If you can, but some, you're gonna have to just some. The way to do it is to cut them like this one, cuttings, and some is to separate them, like with your spider plants is cuttings, and also you can separate it. If you have a big one and you need to repot, you can really separate it. I've separated mine a few times, and they're doing well. I haven't killed any. So yeah, with spider plants is you can cut the babies of the mother plant, or you can take the mother plant itself when it's ready to be repotted, and you just separate it. You just divide it. Yeah, the right word is divide. You divide it. Same thing with peace lily. You divide. And same thing with what do you call it, monstera. You divide. And you can also do cuttings with monstera. And same thing with arrowhead plant. You can divide the big mama, or you can do cuttings. And so most plants you can propagate both ways: divide or cuttings. Some is just cuttings. And yeah, so it's very exciting. I'm glad I could share this with you. Hopefully you're gonna go and try and do that with your plants. Don't be scared. Don't be scared that you're gonna, chances are you're not gonna kill it. Believe me, you're talking to someone who's killed a few, and I learned a lot from it. And now today I know which ones I shouldn't fiddle with and which ones I can really fiddle with. And again, and I'm not scared to fiddle. To be very honest, I'm not scared to fiddle. If it's a new plant and I don't know it and I want to know it, I am going to fiddle. I am going to take it out of the pot and check out the root system, see how it grows, see if I can divide it or cut it. Yeah, why not? And many times, believe me, 90% of the time it works out just fine. So yeah, don't be scared to learn your plants, uh, understand how they work, understand how they grow. The only way you will know how they grow is to take them out. When you repot them, when it's time to repot, don't just, you can fiddle, you can look at the roots, you can loosen them up a little bit and see how it looks, and is it something that you can put apart or not. And that's how you will learn your plants. That's how you will learn, come to know what you have around your house and what can be done with it and what cannot be done with it. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you love the video, please give it thumbs up. And if you have subscribed to my channel, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, please do so. It will mean a lot. And don't forget to click the notification bell that you don't miss out on new uploads. And yeah, that's it for today. Have a lovely day. Bye.